Hello, namaste, and welcome you all to the brand new episode of the FitVid podcast. And today, here I'm joined with my very close friend and the psychologist, Miss Nikita Jadhav. So, she is the co founder of Meraki Psychological Consultancy. And hi, Nikita, it's a super pleasure to have you here.
Hi.
So, yeah, it's been a long time, and you being in that psychological industry and me being in the fitness industry, I think we have met almost uh, 4 5 years back.
Right.
Right. So, how's it going? As in, how has this industry evolved you as a person?
I don't know.
So basically, you being in this industry, um, you being in this industry for a while now, you're treating a few patients,
Right.
treating a few clients. Has it affected your psychology? As in, how mentally strong have you been?
Uh, Actually, being in this field has changed me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're learning about psychological concepts, the thing that happens is when you're learning about these treatment modalities and everything,
Mm.
you start introspecting, as in what is my behavior, learning more about yourself,
Yeah.
being aware,
Right.
right, and kind of applying these principles on your own self.
Right.
So I think it has made me a better person,
Mm-hmm.
a person who is empathetic and understanding. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that is what has really
I
happened.
think that's really important these days to get a self, as in what we can call it, a self behavior check before entering into the society, because that's really
Right.
important. And yeah, so starting off the new year with 2022, getting out of the pandemic, people taking resolutions for physical fitness. Um, has it slightly reduced the mental health importance, or should a person take a mental health resolution as well? What do you think about mental health importance getting into the new year 2022, basically?
Okay, so I think I'll share my own experience. As I told you, the constant change, assimilating and accommodating that change,
Hmm.
it has been really very taxing for me.
Okay.
And this is something that I really want to change. So for this year, my resolution,
Hmm.
the New Year resolution that I have for this year is just one word:
Hmm.
well being.
Oh, that's nice. And that covers all aspects, I hope,
Yes. So
which
it,
includes physical abilities as well.
yeah, so physical fitness as well as psychological well being. So
Right.
I'm happy that I've actually started taking steps for it.
Mm-hmm.
So things like, small things, uh, lesser screen time, more me time.
Okay.
Then I guess everyone will relate to this when I say that, the balance
Hmm.
has been disrupted during the past year.
Okay.
So regulating or restoring that balance,
Right, right, right.
right? And this is something that I'm facing difficulty with,
Absolutely.
but moving from unhealthy eating habits to healthy eating habits.
Hmm.
So as you know, I was always a foodie. I love trying out new cuisines. I love munching and everything.
Hmm. I know it pretty well.
Yeah, so this kind of activity is a little difficult for me, but
Right.
uh, I'm happy that to some extent,
You've improved that.
yeah, I've improved that. So cutting down on junk food,
Mm-hmm.
the intensity and the frequency
Right.
with which I used to dine out and I used to, order like
Right,
food
right, right.
deliveries.
Tell my crew
Everything is
member right now you ordered a pasta. Tell him. Okay. Yeah.
right. So,
Basically, you've improved your habits through that new year resolution, focusing on your mental health as well.
exactly.
That's really nice because I feel yeah, yeah, you can continue. Go ahead.
No, no, I wanted to say one more thing, and there's one more very important thing that I want to add, that I'm still in the process
Mm-hmm.
of, adding at least 30 minutes of physical activity to my
Oh,
routine.
that's nice.
And
That's
I
really nice.
think that is something that you can assist me with,
Hmm. Hmm.
because I am a person who does not exercise
At all.
at all.
Okay.
And in the past year, as I told you, it had been physically very, very difficult.
Right. Absolutely.
And that is what I want to change. And I need to incorporate at least 30 minutes of exercise in
Hmm.
my routine.
Right. Because I think as the topic for today is, it's all about physical fitness and mental health.
Right.
Incorporating that fitness is really important these days because you being a psychologist all day, every day, treating patients and everything, you're just focusing on how to treat this patient physically, sorry, mentally. So it's more importantly, like if a person is going through depression, you'll give him some simple exercises, doing pranayam or something. Just covering up a pranayam thing. So basically, I'll tell you my personal experience. Now, what happens is, I was in a bad phase 4 5 years back. I won't call it depression because honestly, I didn't knew what depression was because I was sitting alone for a while in the room, playing with my dog and stuff, and that binge eating, as we call it. I met my friends and I told them that I'm not feeling good. Yeah, I want to be alone. I want to sit alone. I want to watch TV and just sit in one place. I don't want anyone around me. So these were like, चलो यार दो पैक मार लो खत्म हो जाएगा. It's like people don't understand the importance of depression these days.
Right.
Then I consulted one of my doctors and he was like, do some pranayam. I was like, usse kya hoga? But then I was like, you just focus on your breathing. More importantly, the breathing aspect. You focus on your breathing, focus on your inhale and exhale, and that process will definitely help you. I think I continued that for a long period of time, and then I understood that importance of pranayama is what I feel. Coming back to depression, it's a very common disorder that everyone is facing, and nowadays people are taking that into consideration and talking about it. So, what is clinical depression according to you?
Okay, so talking about clinical depression, I think social media plays a very important role
Mm-hmm.
because you have seen cases like Sushant Singh Rajput.
Yeah.
Then we have also know, Deepika Padukone talking about her incidences
Right.
and
Right.
experiences.
Mm.
When people hear about such things, they start relating and thinking that they too are going through similar experiences, and that
Mm.
is what clinical depression is.
Mm.
Actually, that is not the case. When we're talking about simple blues, as
Okay.
in feeling sad, feeling lonely, restless, not being able to sleep, each of us must have experienced that some or the other time,
Absolutely.
right? If we are talking about clinical depression, you need to visit a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
Okay. I think that's very important. Sorry to
Right,
interrupt you because these days people are not getting whom to approach. Because
right,
because one of my friend approached me and she was like, "कि अब मैं क्या करूँ?" I was like, "Go to a psychologist." But then she was afraid and she was scared कि if the psychologist judges me.
right.
So what do you think about that? That how often should people visit you guys and tell their problems to you?
See, it depends on your need and more likely readiness,
Okay.
right? So, if you feel the need to seek assistance,
Mm-hmm.
that I am going through something which I am not able to handle by myself,
Exactly.
I need external assistance and help,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can visit us.
Yeah.
You can visit a psychologist, a counselor, clinical psychologist, or a psychiatrist,
Mm.
depending on the intensity and nature of problem that you're going through.
Mm.
And if you're talking about visiting a clinician or something, it is not limited to, you having a disorder or a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to become better,
Mm.
like self improvement hai, increase in your self esteem,
Right. Self
self
confidence.
confidence,
Right.
if
Right.
you need to work out on these aspects, you can still visit us.
Okay. No, because I'll tell you one thing. Na, guys and girls these days they feel that if I go to a psychologist, the people in the society will start judging me and they will feel like ye yeda hai. It's like you this is happening in the
Right,
society and I've witnessed this and I'm like yeah, he has a serious problem and that's the reason. You I hope it doesn't happen to anyone, but अगर ऐसा होता है, then please stop judging people because now it's really the point where we stop judging people and we start treating it as a serious problem and curing it.
true, true.
That's really important these days. Um, and attaching the same question to it. So, since the pandemic, basically, everyone's into physical fitness and working out at home and buying dumbbells and everything, focusing, I want to get fit, I want to get back on track. But no one's focusing on the mental health because, as you said right now, that post pandemic, actually, the problems have started getting that mental health on track and everything. So, what do you think the how the importance of psychologists have increased post the pandemic? And you
Okay,
also started earning more after pandemic. I must say that.
right from the pandemic, actually. Yeah. So I think everyone will relate to this when I say that, coronavirus has kind of rocked the entire world with
Right.
a year full of lockdown, restrictions, then, missed gatherings, everything.
Hmm.
You're not being able to be near your closed ones,
Hmm.
deaths of closed ones,
Right.
everything was chaotic. And at the beginning of pandemic, most of my friends, they reported that there was an almost immediate increase in the cases of anxiety and depression. So what happened was, Corona, it kind of was quite sudden for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
People were in a state of disbelief. They were, struggling with these daily uncertainties, as if what is going to happen tomorrow? What is Corona? When will it go?
Oh,
Right? So
so
there
that
were
was
so
an
many
anxiety
things.
problem you're saying?
Yeah, and that led to increase in anxiety.
Oh,
And
okay.
as the pandemic started progressing, we saw various other problems like sleep disturbances,
Mm-hmm.
then eating related disturbances, body image issues, then we were also talking about self esteem issues, disruption of work life balance, stress related issues, and so many things
Mm-hmm.
that was going
So
on.
I think you're dealing with these problems since pandemic, and I
Right.
think as I said before, that you guys really need to witness these things, and if you have any problems related to you, you guys should definitely approach her company and definitely go with the treatments. Um, Now I would say body image.
Right.
Everyone is pretty much conscious about their bodies, and everyone wants to be fit. Look, specifically looking at the cinemas and stuff. Our crew member, again, okay, he's always into that. मुझे six packs चाहिए, मुझे broad shoulders चाहिए, लेकिन खाना कुछ नहीं है. हाँ, खाली जिम में 2 घंटा, उसके बाद फ्राइड राइस, potato wafers, everything.
Right.
First of all, as everyone knows, you need to control on food and workouts both. But then rising body weight issues and that subsequent effect on that mental health. So, how does that mindset work? So, a person joins gym, a person focuses on eating right, but that span of when the body is transforming, how does the person be patient and be controlled with that mental health? So, what do you think about that?
Okay, I think when we are into a phase of change, whenever there's any change, may it be good or bad, it is always uncomfortable,
Okay.
right? Patience and consistency is the key to this. Starting, like, initiating or starting is always easy, maintenance is difficult,
True, yeah. Because I feel
right?
patience वो सबसे बड़ा tough point है, लेकिन if she's saying तो we'll manage it. But patience,
You
yeah,
have to
it's the
manage.
key,
If you
yeah.
reach somewhere, if you want to reach somewhere, you have to be patient enough
Absolutely.
to cross the entire path to complete your journey,
Mm-hmm.
right? Unless and until then, you won't be reaching your goal.
Right, right.
Setting smaller goals, short term goals,
Hmm.
right? Working on them, that is something that will help you reach your goal.
Um, what happens is, so basically, I'll give you my example, my client's example. So a lady was suffering from PCOD.
Mhm.
Okay, now she understood that I'm having a genetic disorder, and naturally, if I'm in 10 standard, if I go forward with my hormonal changes, I'm going to suffer through PCOD. So she knew it right from before that I'm going to suffer from PCOD. But till that time, she was perfectly fine. But because of that mental stress that I'm going to go through PCOD, I'm going to go through PCOD, she was so hypered enough. But उसका कोई reaction ही नहीं था. She was going with a normal lifestyle, as in not exercising, not eating good food, not sleeping on time. I feel mental health plays a very important role over here. That you have to tell yourself mentally that now is the time that I have to start getting into a fit lifestyle. I feel I think that's where the fit endorphins of fitness come into play, right? I feel mm, mental health and endorphins of with fitness. Do you feel that there's a close relationship between that?
Yes, actually, definitely. If you talk about physical activity, whenever you engage into physical activity, there is increased supply of oxygen to your brain,
Mm-hmm.
right? Along with that, there are a number of neurotransmitters that are generated or released in your
Okay.
system.
Okay.
Now, you can think of neurotransmitters as, these chemical messengers
Okay.
of your nervous system.
Right.
Now, related to exercise, endorphin is the most commonly known neurotransmitter.
Exactly. That's a commonly used
Right,
term.
right.
Yeah.
What endorphins do is they block the pain and they increase the sensation of pleasure. So I think you too must have experienced this. After a really hard and heavy workout,
Hmm.
do you feel this? Do you have this experience of euphoric feeling,
Honestly,
excited and everything?
honestly, if I achieve my goals, then yeah, definitely I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you are in this state of like
Hmm.
high
Hmm.
or excitement,
Right.
euphoria, researchers state that this is because of endorphins or as a
Oh.
result of endorphins,
Okay.
right? Because they increase, exercise increases the release of endorphins
Okay.
in your body.
Okay.
And continuous or constant exercising habits, they improve the endorphin release.
Now everyone, after pandemic, there's this wide open range of OTT pictures and OTT drama going around. It's like, for example, if you take any series around, and it's like if they have 7 or 8 episodes, we are like, chalo, ek hi raat mein you're going to watch everything. But then, or maybe, or that's one thing. Other than that, if you're in your own thoughts, if you're into that own stress, then why is that a person always chooses food as a companion that will help him to avoid stress or just watch a movie for that complete night?
Uh, the answer to this lies somewhere near emotional eating, or the concept of emotional eating.
Mm-hmm.
So we all eat food because we are hungry,
Okay.
right? Now, emotional eating, what happens is we eat to feed our emotions
Okay.
rather than feeding our body.
Right.
So you can also talk about it as stress eating,
Hmm.
right? Because most of the emotional eaters, they eat in response to stress.
Right.
So actions like, even if you're full or
Hmm.
rightfully full, eating,
Exactly.
then eating when you are sad or
Hmm.
feeling low,
Hmm.
eating when you're bored or stressed,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So all these, and eating to feel good.
Right.
So all these are behaviors related to emotional eating.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
what actually happens is, think of it like a cycle,
Circle. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you are stressed due to something,
Huh.
right? You choose your comfort food. You eat that food, and then the feel good emotions and hormones, they are
Hmm.
released,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And because of those hormones, you feel temporarily good.
Right.
You
Right.
feel
Right.
better,
Right.
you feel good, but that is temporary.
I really feel that we should choose something else rather than that comfort food, because you'll watch that movie, you'll get over that stress in that specific time, but it's not really good for your health. So please try to choose something different rather than that comfort food going around.
So you feel temporarily good, and after feeling temporarily good, you have that guilt of your actions, of choosing food over something,
Okay.
right? Choosing food over some other stress reliever, and that increases your anxiety again. And then you keep going through the cycle.
Oh, okay, okay.
That is why most of the people choose food, and they continue choosing food whenever they're
Because
stressed.
it's giving them that pleasure.
Right.
Oh, okay, okay. That's something really new which I'm learning right now. And yeah, all these days I'm always focusing on fitness and physical health, and really didn't knew about this in detail. But it's really great to know it from you. And most commonly asked questions by my client is, and this is definitely related to mental health. I'm damn sure about it, because in this nothing's related to muscles or bones or joints or something. So when we specifically give them a food plan, whatever their goal is, the first question which they ask them, that how do we control our cravings?
Right.
So it's definitely a mental health issue, and it's all comes to the mindset. So what is that specific mindset that a person should be in to avoid that cravings and stick to the plan?
The first thing that I feel is people are too strict with themselves.
Okay.
It is human nature to rebel. If I tell myself not to eat a particular thing, I will have a craving to eat that particular thing.
Right.
Right? So, what you can do is maintain some flexibility.
Okay.
Expect lapses.
Okay.
Whenever you get a meal plan or something,
Mm-hmm.
you have a cheat day or something, I guess.
Right.
Right? Expect lapses to happen.
Right.
Plan for those lapses. In case
Exactly.
that happens, what you can do. Right?
Right.
Managing cravings will become easier when you're flexible and understanding with yourself.
True. True.
Right? What you can do is, there are simple tips like keeping, what we generally tell our clients is, do not keep food handy. If it is accessible to me, if it is right in front of me, I will go and binge eat. It
Mm.
becomes very easy,
Right.
right?
Right.
First thing, check if you're hungry. Whatever you're feeling,
Hmm.
check whether if it's really hunger. You could be thirsty.
Yeah.
Try drinking a glass of water.
Hmm. If you still feel that hunger later on, then maybe you can
Exactly.
eat.
Do not skip meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Overeating, it becomes very, very easy when you're very hungry.
Right.
When you're extremely hungry, you can overeat.
Right. Right. Right.
Right? Do not skip meals.
Hmm.
Do not keep do not keep food items or junk food accessible.
Right.
You can keep it away.
But the,
Extend the distance.
but then if you're saying that you shouldn't be harsh on yourself, I feel it's the person himself that has brought himself in that position. Because if he is into that unhealthy lifestyle for 10 to 15 years, naturally he has to be mentally strong with himself and take a strong step that now today is the time that I have to start getting fit. Naturally the first 6 7 days are going to be really harsh on himself, right? So if I say that you don't have to eat these corn because that contains sugar, and if he's corn on a regular if he's eating corn on a regular basis, naturally it's a harsh thing that is affecting him. But then I feel it all comes to the mindset.
See, as you rightly said, the person has had 10 to 15 years of that habit.
Hmm.
Just changing that habit in 10 days is not possible,
Absolutely.
right? Being harsh on yourself is not going to help.
Hmm.
Instead, what you can do is you can plan. right?
Yeah.
Change is never easy, it is never comfortable.
Exactly.
Accept it.
Exactly.
Once you've decided to change, you can take smaller steps.
Hmm.
What you can do is generally with behavior modification. We do that with our clients. If you need to change some habit,
Hmm.
why not give smaller rewards to yourself
Right.
after completing every level or after reaching every point?
Hmm.
You can give yourself some smaller reward.
Right.
If I do not eat corn for 1 week,
Hmm.
maybe this Sunday or this
You
weekend
can
I
have
can have
it.
corn.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
So instead of eating that, telling myself not to eat corn every day and then ending up eating it,
Right.
instead of doing that for an entire week, abstaining from it, and then I know that I'm going to get a reward.
Absolutely.
That makes you feel better,
Hmm.
right? And also the probability for repeating your action of abstaining from corn, it will also increase.
True. 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 Nice. 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 I think it's all about how you plan things.
Right.
To take it in a short line, it's how you plan things to eat right, to stay mentally and physically fit. Coming on the last question, what recommendations would you like to give to our viewers, specifically not to deal with any mental disorder or something, but just to stay mentally calm at their workplace, personal in their personal life, and stay physical fit and maintain a balanced, chilled out life? So what recommendations would you like to give to the youngsters as well, and also to those who are living a normal work life and normal married life, and to all the age groups basically?
Right. So there is a concept called as psychological fitness.
Okay.
Right? Psychological fitness or mental fitness basically means integrating and improving
Mm-hmm.
your cognitive, emotional, and behavioral practices.
Okay.
Cognitive meaning your thought patterns,
Okay.
right? The decision making, logic application, all of these things.
Okay.
So that is what mental fitness is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just like your physical fitness, mental fitness needs practice and training,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like just your body. The
Hmm.
more you train, the more you exercise, the more resilient and stronger it becomes,
Absolutely.
right?
Hmm.
Same happens with your mind. So, as I've already told you, physical activity increases the supply of oxygen to the brain.
Right.
Now, if you want to think about mental exercises, there are things like, memory exercises,
Mm-hmm.
right? Memory exercises, they are known to increase your reasoning.
Hmm.
They are known to, help you bring newer solutions to problems.
Right. Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
So there are smaller things. You don't have to do too many difficult things.
Okay.
Adding smaller activities or mental exercises to your daily schedules, like reading, because with reading, what happens is you're reading,
Hmm.
you are processing each and every word.
Right.
Along with that, you are also trying to recall the meaning and the
Of-
context of the
right.
word.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
So, along with that, imagination, because a picture plays in front of you.
Right.
You
But
are
but I feel as a person like me who is not fond of sitting in one place and reading and just thinking about something,
Right.
what specific exercises would you like to give to us and the viewers that will help us to be mentally calm and as in have a decent life?
right. So things like playing games,
Mm-hmm.
but playing games that are stimulating to your mind,
Right.
which will challenge or somehow stimulate your reasoning, right? Or your decision making, logic application, games like crosswords or Sudoku,
Hmm.
similar things
Nice. Hmm.
where you have to apply some strategy.
Right.
The more the stimulation, the better your mind will function,
Right.
right? Then, along with that, listening to music. Music has a lot of calming effects,
Absolutely.
right?
That's true.
Along with that, relaxation. Relaxation is the most important thing.
Right.
Like your physical exercise. If you keep on exercising without a break, your body is, uh, bound for wear and tear.
Right. Right.
Same thing happens with your mind.
Right.
You need a break.
Right.
So, as I told you with my resolution, low screen, like lesser screen time, more me time.
I think in today's world, especially the men have so much anger issues. I think these exercises or these techniques will definitely help them to maintain and stay mentally strong and on the right path, along with the fitness levels. Me being in the fitness industry, it's my job to tell you guys that please, please, please work out on your physical as well your mental health. So thank you so much, Nikita, for being on board. It was a pleasure having you here. And thank you so much, guys, for watching the entire podcast. Thank you so much for your time and take very good care of yourselves.